All right, so there's a lot going on. We will delve into the past 24 hours of Israel, Iran, but we're not going to give you a whole history lesson on it tonight because I have a feeling in future weeks that John Kirby and John Bolton will figure out how to get some American troops killed, and then I'll have to tell you these stories for real. So I'm not gonna beckon that. We'll let it just stay off in the horizon for now. Um, the other aspects going on that we're going to talk about up front are the national stories, if you will. The January 6th, the setup of Alex Jones, the Ashley Biden diary. They just sentenced the person who found the lost diary.
To a month in jail. It was a woman. Yeah.
I thought she got 2 years, and they might actually give her a month, but I thought she got sentenced to 24 months when I read it.
I don't.
But yeah, I
I
mean,
can't remember.
to criminalize, and they already raided O'Keefe's house over the diary as well. And Ashley Biden admits that it's her diary, apparently, allegedly. This is from the Valuetainment podcast. We'll have the clip in a couple minutes. But I also just wanted to make the observation that a lot of what's going on in our society, Ashley Biden included, is because people are being sent out into the world without being prepared to overcome the obstacles, to encounter the problems, and to provide solutions. And earlier today, when I was going through the Q&A with week 2 of the Autonomy students, we had a question that led to this book coming out off the shelf. This is a civics book from the 1950s. This is the American civics book. And there's a lot of interesting things in here. It talks about dissenting speech and the importance of constitutional republic and the responsibilities of citizens, all this good stuff, right? But there is this one particular graphic in here that I wanted to share. It's this one right here. Let me see if we can zoom in. The key to mental health is learning how to meet obstacles. Which young man uses a method that brings success, right? And then I can zoom out so you can see the picture. But having a method to bring about success and to demystify the world, to help you pole vault over the obstacles, is an essential skill set, not just for being a good citizen, but for living a rich life with meaning and substance. And those substances don't have to include pharmaceutical products to compensate for your boredom and all these other things that come with not having meaning and substance and being able to encounter problems and get over those problems. So in aid in your endeavors, not just this podcast, which lives over here at grandtheftworld.com, but all the things that are in this top box, these are things to embolden your ability to solve problems, to meet challenges, to find solutions. And then if that's not for you yet, if that box that keeps changing up there, we also have this new section where you can see the latest posts without having to dig into the episodes and all these sort of things on the other pages. So if you have not been to grandtheftworld.com lately, stop by, check it out, share it with your friends.
Everyone's doing some kind of self-help these days, and you can find a million self-help courses out there. Most other courses out there are hosting lectures. They're hosting videos, they're maybe even doing Q&As, and these are great starting points to encourage learning. But at Autonomy, we believe that hands-on practice is the best way to really lock in what we're learning. There's no better way to gain confidence and mastery than through action. After each lecture, we practice the concepts we've learned with other students, giving and receiving feedback in a non-judgmental environment. The result is mastery of concepts like entrepreneurship, ethical sales, and self-reliance in an environment that directly translates to the real world. Plus, you make connections with other like-minded individuals who are learning right alongside you, and you have a lifetime membership in the community. The Autonomy course with Richard Grove equips you with confidence, competence, and courage in a world filled with confusion and noise. You can learn more at getautonomy.info. We'll see you there.
What makes the Grand Theft World podcast unique, invigorating, exciting, and informative? Most other podcasts out there are either doing straight up interviews or they're just covering the daily news. They're covering current events from the day they happened. And that is effective. It's useful. It's a great starting point. And then sometimes these current events change during the week past the first story. So we like to give it a little time. You have to wait till some of the dust settles on these stories in order to give them accurate coverage. And the other thing that's really missing in the media landscape is covering the articles that are coming out every day. That's great. That's necessary. But who's bringing in contextual history so that you can understand what has been going on for decades and decades to lead up to the machinations and actions that we see unfolding today? So what we do here on the podcast is we cover current events. Many of these things are censored, but we wait about a week. As a forensic historian, I focused mainly through my career on the history of globalism and collectivism and things that they call maybe the New World Order. There's a lot of facts to these sort of circumstances, groups, events, activities, working groups that they've had over time. So for Grand Theft World listeners, we not only break down the current events, most of which that are censored during the week, we provide you with contextual history, we give you the source notes, the references, we do deep dives, and this really empowers you with an understanding of context and history so that you can make more informed decisions in your life. There's also a community, a membership where you guys can actually ask questions and we can get into the show and we can share evidence. And there's a town hall weekly for Grand Theft World for those who listen to it and are interested in covering the stories that we don't get to during a 6-hour show. Listening to it an hour a day, you could easily consume the week's news, but you're going to have substance and meaning and context and understanding. And with that, you can make higher quality decisions in your life. So if you're interested in more quality in your life, go to grandtheftworld.com, click podcast at the top, and we'll see you there. Thank you.
These allegations are false.
This isn't Grand Theft Auto, folks. This isn't a video game.
What are the most surprising things that you discovered once you started pulling on that thread? Who he was connected to, what institutions he was influential over, what events he participated in?
Come on, man. What are we talking about? Come on, man. No.
You don't have to think about it, dude.
I got this quote because you said you didn't know much about Klaus Schwab. I made it my job to, as soon as this happened, I'm like, okay, this guy's their front man. Let me learn about the official history of the World Economic Forum. I got their 40-year history. I got every book that Klaus Schwab has written or ghostwritten. I went through those books. This is one of the most interesting passages.
Come on, man. Come